Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte from dailybeats.pt and welcome to the second video of FL Studio beginning series. In this tutorial series we are going to give you the basics or the ins and outs of FL Studio. In this video we are going to import sounds from browser, create the first drum pattern loop, send sounds to the mixer and create 8 bars of the loop in the playlist. In the first video we covered the audio in MIDI configurations and the basic interface that we are going to work with in FL Studio, and today we are going to start making music with this tutorial. So let's go. The first thing to do is open the browser and let's go to dailybeats.pt, and here we have 3 free sample packs that you can download for free in dailybeats.pt, which is volume 1, volume 2 and volume 3, and also we have a drum kit with a lot of drums that you can also download for free. So go to dailybeats.pt and download them to follow up or to follow our tutorial. And as you can see, we have a lot of instruments here. We have the sounds and the browser. One good thing about, or one of the best part about Fruity Loops is the browser. So we can have all our sounds listed here and they are very easy to use in our project. So let's go and import some kicks, or one kick, one snare and one hi-hat to the drum rack. So let's open up the channel rack and start importing sounds from the browser. So let's pick a nice kick, this one for example, and we have a lot of ways to import sounds to the channel rack. One way is to just drag and drop like this, and we have the sound here. The other way is to send to selected channel or focused plugin, and this is, let me show you here. If you have 2 or more, you can select which plugin or channel you have here. So let's say if I want to import this kick to this channel, I can simply drag it, or I can click here, send to select channel or focus plugin, and this way the plugin will be loaded to the channel that is selected here in this green rectangle. Another way also is to, let's say I want to open this one, open a new channel, and it will open in a 3rd channel here. So we can delete these ones, and now we have our kick. Let's import our snare like this one, and import our hi-hat. This one here. So the first thing is to create the first drum pattern loop. In the previous video I gave a very brief overview of the channel rack and the patterns, and we are going to go in more detail here now. So the first thing is to lower the BPM, because we are going to make a hip-hop drum loop, and here we have the kick and the snare goes here. This is just a basic loop that I use a lot of times, and I choose this because, let me show you first the counting of the bars. If you go here to this button, you can enable the metronome, and the metronome basically is how we count time in music. So let's say we go from 1 to 4, because we have one bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the count of the bars. And if you can see here, we have this gray square or rectangle going through the timeline as we play the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and we just counted 4 bars of 4 bar of 4 tempo. So yeah, I think I said that right, or 4 beats of 4 bars of 4 beats. So each click of the metronome is a beat. So we want our snare in the 2 and the 4, and the drums they vary between the beats. So let's say we have the snare here in the 2 and the 4, and we can expand to have 2 bars, and then we can just mess around with the kicks, and I like to put like this, which gives a nice drum loop. And then we can place hi-hats like this, or we can do it in a faster way, which is going here, right click, and fill each 2 steps. Okay, and we have our first drum loop created. And let's say I want to make changes in this drum loop, or have this for the first part and have a second part with some variations. What I can do is go here and choose pattern 2, and this pattern I can recreate the original drum loop and now add some variations here. So let's listen. Okay, and now we can go to 1, as you can see the difference here. So we created 2 different patterns, and we could go on and create many patterns as we want. And now we want to put these patterns in the playlist so that we can start creating music arrangement or song arrangement. And you can place in which track you want, and I recommend that you use one track for one kind of instrument. Let's say here we have the drums, so we are going to place the drums here, and we have the pattern 1 with this pattern, and then we can choose pattern 2, go here and click it, and we have pattern 1 and pattern 2. Also, what we can do is go here and rename this pattern, right click in the pattern name and choose here rename and color, and we can call this drums, and go to pattern 2, and we can click here and rename and use drums 2. One good thing about or one thing that I recommend you to do is to start memorizing shortcuts, because it can save you a lot of time. Instead of right clicking here and rename and color, you can just click F2. So let's say I can click F2 and I see already the drums, and I can make changes to this pattern or to the pattern name. And of course, if I want to change drums, this pattern, the pattern 1, I have to switch to that pattern to rename it. And that's it. We created 2 drum loops or patterns and placed them on the playlist. But how do we put it here playing? Because we are playing here, as you can see, and we are not playing here, because this pattern, the drums 2 will play always, and we want to play drums, and then drums 2, we want to play the two patterns sequentially. And one way to move from the pattern mode to the song mode is here with this button. This button will allow us to change from listen to the pattern that we are creating from or to the song mode. And in this song mode you can see that we have already a green arrow in this playlist, and it means that we are now going to play the playlist, as you can see. And we are playing drums 1 or drums, and now we are playing drums 2, and they are back to back, meaning that we played this one first and then this one second, or sequentially. And we can change the tracks like this, just dragging, and they will play always if they stay in this timeline. Of course, if we put it here, it will have a gap of silence here, but you can put it in which track you want, and it will always play. So this is the basic of creating a beat, and as you can see, we created two different patterns and we placed them here. So now what we can do is select pattern 1 by clicking on it, and again clicking here to create more copies of that pattern. And if we want to choose this one, we can click on it or go here and choose drums 2, and now we can feel the rest of the things. What I just did was to control click and left click on the mouse to select a pattern. So let's say that we wanted to select or fill 20 bars of drums. So what I could do is select these two patterns, shift click or hold the shift key and left click with the mouse, and just do like this, and we have now let's say 16 bars. And it's very easy to drag and copy. Just hold the shift key, click, and then just drag or move the mouse over, and you will create a copy of the patterns. Be careful though that you can also create a pattern here. So let's say I hold the shift key and click again, and I create a pattern. Every time I shift click on a pattern, I create a copy of it, and it can happen that they stay always like this and you don't notice. And that's not a bad thing if they are like this. But for example, I placed drums 2 in the back of the drums, so if I do like this, we have two copies of it, and this can cause some weird behavior. As you can see, the sound was higher here, so be careful with this. The best way is to only have one like this or like this, and yeah, that's it. Now we are going to go and send the sounds to the mixer. So we created the patterns here in the channel rack, and we copied or created an arrangement of the patterns that we created. Now we are going to send these sounds to the mixer so that we can change the volume, the panning, and add effects to those sounds. And let's open here the mixer. Let me put it smaller so that we have a better understanding. We can close now the browser because we are not going to import any more loops. or sounds. And now let's see how to send sounds to the mixer. Here in this square or rectangle, you can see a number, and these ones don't have a number. And the way that you can send stuff to the mixer is through these ones here, or if you open up the plugin or the sampler, you also see here a track and a number. And if you click here and move the mouse, you will see that you are changing the tracks of the mix in the mixer. So this is insert 1, which means track 1, and you can start just increasing the numbers here, and you will get different you will assign a number, which means you will assign a track, a mixer track, to each instrument or to each sample. So if we play now, you can see that you have here the kick, you have here the snare, and you have here the hi-hat. So I like to name everything, and you will see in the future that this is very useful, because it will allow you to navigate through the program faster and do less mistakes. Because if you name that your kick is in channel 1, you don't have to go back and forward to the channel rack in the mixing time. So it's better to rename stuff as you go, because it will help you in the mixing stage to know which sound or what is that you are modifying here in the knob or in the effects. Here, so we have the kick, we have here the snare. So to rename this, you can just right click and rename color and icon. Again, if you press F2, you will also change or prompt this window to change the name. So this is snare, and we placed the hi-hat in track 3. So let's go here and put hi-hat. And now we can start leveling stuff. So I feel that the hi-hat is too high, so I want to lower the volume. Also, as you can see here, the hi-hat in the left side is higher than in the right side, and I want to correct that. A way to correct that is to do like this with the panning. With the panning you can control the volume in one side or the other, which means left and in the right. So let's say I want to place the snare completely to the right. I can just do like this, and you can see we only have information or signal of the snare in the right channel and not in the left. The same goes for the kick or for whatever instrument you have here. If I want to put the kick only to the left, you have like this. To reset, just right click and reset it. So here is the basic controls, volume and panning, and you can add effects to this going here, but now we are not going to mess around with this. In later videos we are going through the mixing desk or the mixing interface, and we are going in more detail about this. For now, I just want to show you how to send stuff to the mixer. And as you can see, all these sounds are going or are being routed from the track 1 to the master, and you can see the routing through here, this arrow, meaning that the sound is going out of this channel and is going to this channel here. And you can have this kick here go to different channels. So let's say that you enable also here, and a copy of this signal, of the signal of the kick, is sent to this channel. And then this channel also will route the output of channel 6 will be routed also to the master, that you can delete here, and it will not output anymore. You will see you have the signal here, but it's not going anywhere. But if you enable here, you will see the kick becomes louder, because now we have 2 copies of the kick playing. And also you can change the volume here. So this is 0 volume, and you can have a lot of volume, or you can change the volume that you want here. And the same goes for whatever signal or whatever track you have here in the mixer. As you can see, it's going to the master. If I disable this, you will not listen the snare anymore, although the signal is here in this track. So let's say we want to group this here in one track called drums. First we can rename this by clicking in F2, and let's call this drums. And now we have to select which track we want to go here and just click here. But doing this, we are sending a copy of kick to the drums and also to the master. We don't want that. We just want this kick to go to the drums. And what we can do is, in this up arrow, right click, and it will show this menu, and we can just route to this track. It's what we just did, or route to this track only. And if we route to this track only, this track will only be routed to drums. And as you can see, we have the signal here and going here to the drums track and going to the master. We can do this individually to each track, or we can select both tracks using the control. You can hold the control key and select everything, or the tracks that you want, and then go here and route to this track only. And this will do the same for each track. As you can see, the kick here is routed to drums, the snare is also routed only to the drums, and the hi-hat is also routed only to the drums. And if I play now, you will see that we have all these sounds going to this channel here, channel 4, the drums, and I can individually manipulate the volume of the drums, change the panning, and also add effects to this channel. So this is the basic. In an overview of this episode, we saw how to import sounds into FL Studio, how to create the first drum loop pattern or the patterns, how to send those patterns to the playlist and create a song arrangement. In this case were 16 bars, and how to send sounds to the mixer or instruments to the mixer, and some mixing tips or basic mixing parameters here in the mixing interface. And this is it for now. In the next video we are going to talk about adding effects in the mixer and also adding virtual instruments. It's going to be a more the next step in creating music in FL Studio. My name is Tiago Duarte, and if you are not subscribed yet, click in the red button to subscribe, and also in the bell to get notified when we post new beats and new tutorials or new videos on our channel. Also consider going to our website www.dailybeats.pt, where we have free sample packs, free drum kits, and also a free VST instrument, which is called Daily Beats VST, with 14 sample-based instruments, and it's for Windows only, and for only €5 you can have the update, which allows you to have this VST for Windows and also for Mac, and with a plus 16 instruments, meaning that you, for €5 you will have a total of 30 instruments in a very nice plugin. So my name is Tiago Duarte, and I'll see you in the next video.